Hello everyone, thank you for taking the time to watch our video. We are delighted to have the opportunity to showcase our solutions during this Nintex Process Fest 2021. As a quick introduction first, we are AMO Consultancy Services, we are a Nintex partner, and we're based in the heart of the City of London in the UK. Our business mission is to improve our customers' performance by designing bespoke business process automation solutions. And for this, we leverage and combine a number of intelligent technologies, including Nintex products. My name is Bertrand. I'm a director at AMO Consultancy, and I'm going to be your host for this session. Today, I will specifically focus on our global procure-to-pay solution. I will expose the purpose of this platform, as well as reviewing its most interesting and impactful features. So let's get started. Little context first. Our procure-to-pay solution caters for large multinational environments with complex approvals and complex decision processes. It's a great platform for finance departments, procurement departments, bidding teams, and other shared services structures that could span across multiple regions and multiple companies within the group. To summarize its function and what it does as a whole, it's a fully integrated budget, purchase and supplier management solution designed to support your end-to-end finance processes. So its main functions encompasses supplier management, budget management, purchase management, and goods receipts, triggering naturally suppliers' payments. The platform has been designed as a single portal with your users in mind. So it's very simple to use with a clean and color-coded interface. And the idea here is that every interaction made is purposeful, it's free of clutter, and completely adapted to your employees' roles and responsibilities. So what you see on the right-hand side here, for example, would be a super user view of the application, but a local purchase requester would have a much more reduced interface, completely focused on his day-to-day tasks, as we're going to see in a couple of slides. The application was designed from the ground up to operate across borders, and therefore, as you can imagine, handles any types of currencies and conversions possible. A little technical note here. It's important to know that we've leveraged Nintex K2 Five to develop this platform because of its integration capabilities, and the solution that I'm showcasing today was built to utilize SAP as the single source of truth, but it could also be deployed as a standalone system or even connect to any other third-party tools or data sets. So now let's dive into some of the main features of this P2P application. And I would like to start with authorization management layers. So depending on your needs, we have developed complex validation matrices to reflect all levels of approvals and scenarios that may be required by your business. And these layers will differ from one module or process to another, depending on who requested something, what the scope of that request is, the amount, the cost, the country that this request was made from, the cost centers, department teams, etc., etc., etc. In essence, we can really utilize any parameters that you wish to drive the behavior of your approval workflows. Yeah, this application was built really to handle any varied complex approval solutions that you may require. And to top it all, and this really is the key here, and throughout this presentation and on all the features that I'm going to show you today, is that the key point is that the complexity is directly handled by the application itself, making it really convenient and completely seamless for your employees. So moving on from this, tracking and versioning. So this is a massive topic, and our application resolves the traceability issues that many businesses would typically face. And the way we overcome this challenge is by automatically recording every user actions in real time and creating historical records. Now, those tracked actions are instantly available in each request for quick review, meaning that you would always know at a click of a button what the latest action taken on a specific request was. And an extension of this feature is that once a request is validated on a purchase order or budget change, for example, a new version of this record is created, right? And the result is that we can always go back to a previous version as clearly, the portal references each version of your POs, each version of your budget changes for historical purposes. What goes with the historical records is obviously the concept of compliance here, and to cater for that, we effectively record any system changes that is made via the administration console. Sorry, and this includes any changes made to security access, to financial validation matrices, to various cost thresholds, task delegations, and system reference data. And in addition to this, and what this enables us to do is that we have built a self-service portal available for auditors to directly access read-only data without the need to generate specific reports. So in reality, as and when you need to go through your internal and external audit exercises, you don't need your finance directors or finance executives to spend a lot of time with the auditors. You will simply give the relevant access to your auditors, and they will be able to access any information that they need with all the security parameters in mind. And obviously that leads us nicely onto security management. Obviously, security is paramount for any applications, but even more so when it comes to finances and the handling of sensitive data. So we have introduced user access granularity across modules, features, and data. And this aspect enables us to build a unified portal with an adaptable interface based on user authorized access. Now, this segregation mechanisms guarantees optimum visibility without compromising on security. So, depending on your requirements, various administration and authorization layers are created based on location, scope, and seniority. And we typically use quite a lot of different types of identities, such as budget holders, finance controllers, or even procurement managers, to name just a few. Moving on from securities is task delegation. So this is an important feature which enables employees to better manage their workload. So managers from all tiers can delegate part of their responsibilities to assistants to efficiently manage their daily workload. And this also allows the platform really to be standardized at a global level and scale to many regions and countries without increasing top management administrative burden. And in addition to this, it means that each country can control their approvals and delegations locally without compromising the global standard required. One of the nice features that comes with this aspect of delegation is what we call the out of office, which we have incorporated. And what it does, it permits staff to easily hand over their tasks for a short period of time when they're unavailable. For example, if they're away on holidays or in a training session for short periods of time. And the net result for the business is that it really prevents a slowdown in approval flows, thus keeping business performance at optimal levels. Now, I talked about the user experience on a couple of occasions already, and this is a theme that we've carried across from the design of this application all the way to its continuous improvement. And thanks to Nintex K2 Five customizable interface, we've been able to create layouts which are completely tailor-made to our customers' specific requirements and branding guidelines. And aside from the look and feel of the app, usually when you bundle all the typical burdens and limitations, of security, compliance threshold that I've mentioned just earlier, you typically end up with an application structure that prevents your employee from performing well and therefore prevents your business from really being efficient. But what we've done instead is that we've taken those constraints and transformed them to positively impact the employee experience. And as a result, the interface we've built is very intuitive, it's clutter-free, and the automation capabilities of this application takes away the unknown and the potential for human errors as well. So to make the application even more user-friendly is that we make it possible for each individual to build his or her own profile, including language and data preference. The data preference selection can include anything from your favorite currency, your favorite suppliers, the location that you operate from, and all of this makes the daily use of this application really fast and focused. And obviously, I mentioned it earlier, but the multilingual feature is built in and includes several languages, enabling a standardized system to be used by any member of any country. The features that I've mentioned just now have resulted into a well-designed application which deals with the challenges that many companies face in their finance and procurement departments. So what I wanted to do here is really briefly go through some of the most impactful benefits that we believe our solution brings to these departments. So firstly, thanks to Nintex K2 workflow, the enterprise finances processes fluidity have been drastically improved. The approval processes are, streamlined, the complexities removed essentially. It's transparent and it's shortened now between countries and departments. It's a lot quicker than it ever was before. The second item of importance is that there is a complete visibility on budget management. So budget amounts, budget holders, and authorization at all levels are really clear-cut and cannot be bypassed. So this really helps mitigating financial risks and enables a greater outlook on budget cycles. The third attribute is in relation to compliance. I mentioned it earlier, but this is really important. So not only is every user action tracked in real time, but the life cycle of each request is also recorded. Remember all the versionings that are created automatically. And what that means is that regulatory scrutiny is dealt with in a much better way, as auditors can directly access the data with a self-service portal without the need to generate specific reports. Number 4, because employees, once again, are at the center of a platform architecture, they really feel engaged, and the solution makes sense to them, which drives up massively user adoption. In 5, the delegation features that I've mentioned before helps prevent a slowdown in approval flows, thus keeping your business performance at optimum levels. 6, every aspect I've talked about up until now have played a major part in increasing business productivity and efficiency, which naturally translates into cost savings. And thanks to P2P's intuitive interface, users practically do not require any training, thus driving onboarding costs down as well. And this brings me to point 7. P2P reduces human errors and improves data accuracy, especially around the relationship between budget allocations, cost centers, purchase orders, and the goods that have been either received in full or partially. So thanks to the smooth good receipts processes, payments to suppliers can be made in a timely manner, which help foster better relationships with your providers. And finally, this is obviously a really important point. This platform, we've enabled mobility with this platform to all users, which means that the validation process remains uninterrupted. So even with top management, always being on the go, they can remotely approve or reject high-value purchases without the need to log onto the portal. Before I close this off, what I wanted to do here really is illustrate what can be achieved with our solution. And what you see here is some real numbers that are in relation to a live deployment that is available for one of our customers. And in this instance, the platform is currently available in 32 countries and is used by more than 2,000 employees daily. It's important to know that these are actual 2,000 active users on the application, as opposed to being business headcounts. And a recent report showed us that more than 130,000 transactions go through the platform every year, and this number is exponential year on year. Finally, I wanted to make a quick note on the fact that we constantly improve our solutions and platform, and we continuously introduce changes and new features in line with the evolving requirements of our customers and I would say that in the market at large. By way of example, robotic process automation will be introduced as part of the process later this year to extend supplier management processes and enable connectivity to a lot more third-party tools. Last but not least, please note that we will run a live demo of this solution with Nintex directly in a webinar on the 25th of May 2021. The link to register to this webinar will be available on our website, on Nintex website, and also on our LinkedIn page. I hope you can make it. If you are not available, then recordings will also be available. But in the meantime, please do contact us if you want a personalized tour of this solution, or if you have any other questions. This is it for me today. Thanks again for watching.